Hello Manchester United fans. Ruben Amorim makes brutally honest admission about Man Utd's summer transfer targets. Ruben Amorim is set to embark on his first summer transfer window as Manchester United manager, while preparing for his former Sporting Lisbon ally to move to Manchester City. Ruben Amorim transformed Sporting Lisbon into the best team in Portugal with a limited budget, and the support of the man who will help Pep Guardiola mastermind Manchester City's rebuild this summer. He has no doubts that he can work the Oracle once again, working alongside Jason Wilcox at Manchester United. Amorim's close friend Hugo Viana is heading to the Etihad as the replacement for City's director of football Txiki Begiristain, and will have plenty of cash to splash on new players. Across town at United, it will be up to technical director Wilcox to work alongside the Portuguese to make absolutely sure that every penny counts. Amorim insists that when he asks Wilcox, formerly boss of City's academy, for big signings he won't be expecting big money. Cash for new players is scarce at a club that stands £1 billion in debt and has been left behind by neighbors who no longer have to create a din to make their presence felt. Amorim said, "There are characteristics we don't have in our squad, and we are trying to see about the gaps we have. When I say we need big players, I'm not talking about players from Real Madrid. I am talking about players in the way I see the game. Of course, money helps. We need to be really good in recruitment. We need to know our system and the way we play, and the players have to be perfect for their positions. So we know what we have to do, that is clear, and we will see next season." Amorim faces Guardiola at Old Trafford, having already done a number on the City boss for both Sporting and United this season. City need the points to qualify for the Champions League. For United, the first leg of their Europa League quarterfinal in Lyon is a bigger game. But both managers will have very different budgets in the summer. It was Viana who took a chance on Amorim 4 years ago when he made a raid on Braga for their 34-year-old coach. Despite being continually outspent by Benfica and Porto, the pair worked together to recruit and develop players like João Paulinho, Pedro Porro, Manuel Ugarte, Mateus Nunes, and Victor Gyökeres. Sporting ended their 19-year wait for the Portuguese title in 2021 and were champions again last season. Now Wilcox, the Premier League winning winger with Blackburn 30 years ago, is Amorim's sounding board at Old Trafford. Amorim said, "United is a different context to Sporting, and a different league, but we were in a similar position, and maybe even lower. I was lucky to work with Hugo, and I find I have more or less the same relationship with Jason. So in that part I am completely relaxed. It is different because the competition here is different, but, of course, we need to have a great connection." Man United news. Ruben Amorim offers a mad update as Alejandro Garnacho transfer hint dropped. Manchester United are building up to Sunday's Manchester derby, but boss Ruben Amorim has been struggling to inspire an upturn in form for the Red Devils over the past few months. Ruben Amorim is confident the Mad will be back in action before the end of the season. The winger had been a key man for Amorim but suffered an ankle injury in early February and has been sidelined ever since. Amorim has struggled to inspire an upturn in Manchester United's form in his absence. The Red Devils sit 13th in the Premier League table with only 8 games to play and are on course for their worst ever season in the division. The summer transfer window appears to be increasingly important for Amorim. A number of exits from Old Trafford are expected to raise funds for new players to come in and boost the squad. One man who has been heavily linked with an exit is Alejandro Garnacho, and a fresh hint has now been dropped on the Argentine's future at the club. Having been defeated by Nottingham Forest in midweek, Amorim will be desperate to beat Manchester City on Sunday afternoon. Here, Mirror Football rounds up all the latest Manchester United news. A mad update issued. Ruben Amorim believes that Ahmad will be fit to return to action by the end of the season. The Ivorian hasn't featured since early February after suffering an ankle injury in training ahead of the Tottenham Hotspur. Ahmad had been one of United's star performers in 2024-25, contributing 8 assists and 9 goals across his 36 appearances. And the Red Devils boss believes he will play a part in the run-in with 8 Premier League fixtures to play and the Europa League quarter-final against Lyon. "He's doing quite well," Amorim said. "We hope to have him before the season is finished. We'll see, but he's anxious to play, so we are waiting for him." Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has admitted he is not sure how to utilize the qualities of versatile defender Nasser Mazraoui. The summer signing has been deployed in a number of positions this term, including at number 10, with Amorim conceding it presents a dilemma. It's hard to see the best position, he said. His background is like a fullback in a defensive four. So in our way of playing, he can play in different positions. I see him as one of the defenders in this moment because of his quality. He can defend. He can play 1-against-1, defending, attacking. So I'm seeing him with a future to play as a wingback and as a center-back. Garnacho hint dropped. Alejandro Garnacho has put his house up for a sale amid increasing links with an exit from Manchester United. The 20-year-old has struggled to hold down a place under Ruben Amorim and is set to attract interest from a number of suitors in the summer. The Argentine has now put his house up for sale, though it does not appear to be a sign that he is closing in on an exit. Instead, the winger. Manchester United wonderkid JJ Gabriel makes academy history and scores twice at 14 years old. JJ Gabriel is one of the most exciting young prospects in Man Utd's academy, and he played for the under-18s on Saturday. JJ Gabriel scored twice on his debut for Manchester United's under-18s against Leeds on Saturday. The Manchester Evening News reported, on Friday evening, that Gabriel was set to make his first appearance for the under-18s, and he was introduced from the subs bench in the 63rd minute. The 14-year-old became the youngest player to play for United's U18s, which indicates his high potential, and he scored twice in the final minutes of the game. Gabriel took the ball down brilliantly for his second goal, and he finished into the bottom right corner in style. His ball control is exceptional, and he's been in prolific goal-scoring form for the under-16s so far this season. So it was no surprise to see him net a brace on his bow for the U18s. Gabriel is seen as a young talent with genuine star quality. The exciting youngster was given the nickname Kid Messi after clips of him training and completing specialist skills went viral on social media when he was younger, and he's already on the radar of top European sides. He was pictured with one of his idols, Lamine Yamal, outside the Camp Nou in August, and he has a European passport which has caught the attention of big clubs on the continent. United are hopeful they can do enough to convince Gabriel that staying in Manchester is the best option for him, and making an U18s debut represents another milestone in his blossoming career. When Marcus Rashford joined Aston Villa on loan in January, Gabriel thanked him for taking penalties with him at Carrington before he had left the club. Gabriel also received a get-well-soon video from goalkeeper Andre Onana when he was recovering from his shoulder injury in October. Gabriel may well be one of the most exciting players to ever come through United's academy, but club staff are trying to temper expectations to allow the youngster to focus on his development. The U18s crashed out of the FA Youth Cup semi-final against Aston Villa earlier in the week, and Gabriel traveled with the squad, just like he did for the quarter-final match against Arsenal last month. Why Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho has put his house up for sale. Alejandro Garnacho joined Man United from the Atletico Madrid academy in 2020 and is under contract until 2028. Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho is looking for a new property in Cheshire after putting his house up for sale. United sources say Garnacho bought his current house in the summer when his family and brother were still living in England. Garnacho's parents and sibling have since returned to Spain, and Garnacho and his partner, Eva, have opted to downsize with their 1-year-old son, Enzo. There remains ongoing uncertainty over Garnacho's future after United rejected a £40 million offer from Napoli in the winter transfer window. The Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules effectively incentivize clubs to sell homegrown players as they represent a pure profit, but United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has claimed the club will not sell any players for financial reasons. Garnacho, 20, has played 46 times for United this season, having started in 38 successive games last term. Although he was omitted from the Manchester Derby squad on December 15th, he has been named in every United matchday squad since. The Argentine was criticized for his performance in the 1-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night, and United coach Ruben Amorim admitted the winger is not in a great moment. "I think he is doing the right things," Amorim said. "Of course, like any player in our team, he has to choose better, especially in the last third. All the players have to improve. Maybe Bruno is the one who can do something, assist or score a goal very easily. We have to improve as a team to help Garnacho." But Garnacho is improving the way he defends, the way he runs. He's working hard. He needs more goals and assists, that is clear. But so do the other guys. I see him as a young kid that wants to improve, who is improving, but he is not in a great moment in that part like the other guys on the team. Garnacho joined United from Atletico Madrid at the age of 16 in September 2020 and made his debut as a 17-year-old in April 2022. He scored twice in United's FA Youth Cup final victory the following month before helping the first team to win the League Cup and FA Cup under Erik ten Hag. Garnacho is under contract at United until 2028.